Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Happy Friday.
It
Woo!
is Friday.
We made it yet another week. It's the Single Mommy Hustle. I'm so excited. I'm so
Always.
excited.
Always.
No, I'm super excited today.
Today is the day.
Today is the day. I don't even know where that came from. That came from like my inner pieces.
You ought to be excited.
I am so
What
happy.
brings us here to this?
Well, today's
sad
topic
moment?
is FUBU.
Mm.
What does FUBU mean? For us, by
For
us.
us, by us.
Right. And that's how we've been describing, for lack of better words, quote unquote, for lack of better words, what we do as in reference to culturally specific services, right?
Yes, we do.
Our podcast is FUBU. It is for us, by us. Supreme Transitions Nonprofit Agency is culturally specific, catering to Black domestic violence and sexual assault survivors here in Detroit. And we also do, some national work, but FUBU, right? Because representation matters.
Yes, it does.
My name is Erica Murray, and I am the executive director of Supreme Transitions Nonprofit Agency here in Detroit, Michigan. Like I just said, who we help and who we be and who we are and is.
That's us.
That's us. And so this here podcast is the Single Mommy Hustle, and I co-developed, co-produced.
This our baby.
This our baby.
We had a baby together.
We had our baby.
My baby mama. And I am the co-creator,
Yes,
co-founder of this here beautiful baby, the Single Mommy Hustle. Jessica, I prefer Jess.
Juicy J, if you nasty.
No. The purple one. Happy belated birthday to heavenly belated birthday to my pops because I had to do that.
Yes, R.I.P. Prince. Absolutely left a true legacy for us.
Yes,
and for you, I send condolences to you in the loss of your father.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. So let's get to it.
Okay, because we
are excited.
We are
excited.
So we always start our show, for those who have been watching this third season of the Single Mommy Hustle, we always start with our Hey Girl Heys and our What Up Those. And we always start with giving a huge Hey Karma.
Hey Karma
from Ujima. We love you so much, right? That's how we always start the show.
Yes,
and then we
do.
always say, and we're streaming live from Detroit is different. Hey, Kari.
But it's something special about our introduction today.
Yes. So we have a very special guest. I'm so happy. Umi Jr. Confirmed in the midnight hour.
Yeah.
That she was able to come on with us and join with us. And so I'm not going to prolong it. We have Miss Karma Cottman.
Karma!
Yes.
Hey, Karma. My Hey Karma is actual.
Hey. Hey, girl. Hey. So it's Karma Cottman, a.k.a. I want to be like her when I grow up. A.k.a. Moneybag Yo. A.k.a. girl, you doing it. Okay?
Yes.
So thank you so much, Karma, for coming on. I've told you over many years that I'm thankful to know you. I'm blessed to have had you in my life. And so when we talk about FUBU, with for us, by us, if it had not been for you, it would not be a me, right?
Okay.
I'm serious.
No,
I'm so serious.
Seriously.
You have shown and been an example of what it looks like to stand in the front and be authentic and be true and say, I am Black and I am beautiful and I am smart and I can do it. And if you give me a chance, watch how I show you what I can do. Okay. Let's go higher. Hashtag let's go higher.
Oh.
And so you have poured into my cup, whether you knew it or not. I've always fangirling. And so I just have to say, welcome to the Single Mommy Hustle. We are so happy you're here.
Oh,
thank you so much. Thank you.
A face to my Hey Karmas. Absolute pleasure. Erica speaks extremely highly of you because outside of our baby, we do talk, of course. And I just want to thank you for what you do for her because she also pours into me. So, hey Karma.
Oh wait, and I forgot another AKA.
Oh,
Karma Cottman, aka Legacy Makers.
oh, yeah,
Okay.
yep, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Because Imani is here with us. That is my daughter.
Yes.
And thanks to you, Karma, I am able to continue what we do in our community, in the Black community for survivors. And then to have the opportunity to hire, my daughter and have her trained in this work. And hopefully she'll be able to go even further than what me and you have been able to do. And so we do not do long bios here. We allow you to do your own introduction. We want you to tell us who you are, who you be, what you do, and what you do it for.
Y'all said you start with a hey girl, hey, and you got about to start with me crying over here. Thank you so much. You gave me the best compliment ever by saying Umi Jr. You know, that is my heart.
Hey, Umi.
Umi is a trailblazer, has set the stage. So I am so happy to be sitting here looking at you three beautiful Black women, trailblazers, leaders in the work, in the field. And it just does my heart so good. Also to see Imani's little smiling face over there and just know that the work will continue.
Yes, ma'am.
It's so grounding. And so I'm just so happy to be here with you all today, be here with you all this evening. Erica, you started talking about how you pour into how I pour into you, but you pour into me, sharing your story, seeing you just grow in the work, seeing all the work of Supreme Transitions, all the women whose lives you are changing, all the young people's lives you are changing, seeing you and Jess with a podcast that is really bringing truth and speaking truth to power. This is amazing. And so while you share and give kudos to me, I have to share and give kudos to you all who are bringing so much, not only to the city of Detroit, but who are bringing so much to all of the Black women and girls across the country who are looking for people who are saying that it's possible. It's possible to live your dream. And you all are doing that. So I'm so blessed to be here with you and get this opportunity this evening.
Well, tell us about your agency, Ujima.
Sure. So Ujima, we are a national organization. Ujima is the National Center on Violence Against Women in the Black community. We work across the nation to address domestic violence, sexual assault, and community violence in the Black community, lifting up and centering the experiences of Black women and girls. And we are honored to have been able to support a number of local Black organizations that are developed by and for our community. Over the last couple of months, we were able to provide over $5 million in funds.
Ow!
Yes. Through the American Rescue Plan and the Department of Health and Human Services. And I need to shout out another beautiful Black leader, Ms.
Please do.
Shondell, Director Shondell
Yes.
Dawson, who is the director of the Office on Family Violence and Prevention Services, who
Yes.
really has made this funding possible. Ujima is a national resource center funded by the Department of Health and Human Services. We're also funded to serve as a national resource center by the Office for Victims of Crime out of Department of Justice. We have a couple other projects, one that focuses on HBCUs, historically Black colleges and universities. We have one that focuses on addressing firearms and the overrepresentation of Black women that are murdered by an intimate partner as a result of intimate partner violence. So we have a number of different programs, and our most exciting program that we've been also working on is some of our international work that we're working with some partners on the continent. So
Ooh.
our tentacles are wide, and we're trying to do the work deep. We're trying to represent as a national organization that centers the needs of our community.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. And hey, Shondell, Director Dawson, put some respect on that name. So today we are talking about FUBU, right?
Mhm.
For us, by us, representation matters. And when it came to me, it was in a meeting looking at a room of Black women, smart, intelligent, and I was just like, you know what? That needs to be the title this week. is FUBU.
because we struggled with the title this week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
per
we did.
usual. It
Yeah,
ain't nothing
I mean,
new.
you know, it was like really like we were having brain fog. Like seriously,
Yeah.
like we didn't even have a suggestion.
Not
like,
even an idea.
well, you know, because something fell through. You know
Yeah,
that
and so we want to send
so-
love to Sharon Harris at Lupus
Absolutely.
Detroit. Continue to heal and get better. And we will see her later on in the
Yes.
season. But so the idea around some conversations that I've heard of, I've overheard, I've tried to get away from because I didn't want to be combative. I didn't want to be way too aggressive about the thing because I want to love on people, right?
Absolutely.
And help them grow. And so for me, it's like, do you know how silly you sound when you say something like, I don't understand why the Little Mermaid need to be remade and put a black girl there. That does nothing needs to be changed. I'm tired of people remaking everything and making it about race and putting black people there. And Imani has shared some conversations that she had been a part of, and I was like, this is just getting ridiculous. And I see, well, I'm an 80s baby, and my daughter and Jessica is too. So,
Speak for yourself. No, I'm joking.
27 forever.
In holding.
No, this is our 40th year.
This is.
We are excited about it.
40.
40 ballers. Finally 40. Hashtag E40.
E40. Yes, I'm coming for you in November, baby. I got to find something that's gonna top that
Look,
one.
I don't think nobody can top the hashtag E40. 40
I was here
baller.
for it. I was here for it.
But you know, Imani was born in 2001. And so I hear people in my age group as well as in her age group, and they don't seem to understand why representation matters. And Carmen, did you see The Little Mermaid?
I did.
Yes.
I did.
No, I feel bad.
You didn't see it yet?
My child is a boy, and
He can see it. See, look.
No. I asked him.
He didn't.
We still stuck on peaches.
Oh, okay.
So, right.
Peaches.
Yeah, we're still stuck there. But I told him how important it was to me to see it, and he was like, "Oh, okay, mommy, I don't really want to see it, but I gotta go see it with you because you always going to see my shows with me."
Well, how old is Kendall?
7.
Kendall is 7.
So let's start there. Why?
And we do allow our children to have a voice.
Yeah.
Umi has ingrained that in us.
Yes.
She even told me I had to catch those older ones. Like, oh, you gotta give them. You can't be their voice. You gotta let them be their voice. And they were a little what? They were like middle school.
I think Kendall. If I ask Kendall, he'll go with me.
No, he said he would go with me because I did let him know. Like, I don't want to go by myself. And you know, Granny Girl is like
too little.
Yeah, she's too little to understand.
And that's the other thing.
I need someone I could dialect with after. And I
didn't talk to my little buddies. I took my little buddies, Karma. My baby cousins, Bailey, Gianna. No, not Gianna. It's a lot of G's.
I was
Gianna. It was Jania, Bailey, Elise.
You was
Jameer.
there.
I was there.
I thought
his name a lot.
It was 8 of us.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, we went and Jameer went, and he's a boy.
Yeah, Jameer slept though. Jameer didn't watch it.
Jameer, he was okay for like the first 5 seconds. He was intrigued. Talking to him, literally. He was talking to him.
We was having a whole conversation loud in the mug too. I talked during all movies, honestly.
He was like, Karma. He said, I heard him tell Imani, fish don't talk. That was all he was thinking about was fish don't talk.
And then he said, crabs don't talk either. I said, do you believe in mermaids? He was like, well, yeah. I said, how you believe in mermaids? You don't think fish talk?
Oh,
this is happening in the theater in real time, Karma.
I would have been that person in the reality with them.
Well, I bought the row so we can have some COVID space. Okay.
Y'all were look, as a family, were you all COVID space?
We were together, but no one could sit by us.
I love it.
But I think it's important because I've also seen people on social media asking, is it okay to take their sons to see this movie? Carmen, what did you think?
I loved it. I took my sister and my 5-year-old niece, who was so excited. She now has all things Little Mermaid. And I think what has been so interesting is, aside from what we know, is to see the light in little Black children's
I
eyes
Yes,
have been
when they
loving. Now
see
yes.
that I have been
someone
loving.
who looks like them on screen, when they hear voices and dialect that sounds like us. That is so important. And when I saw her like sitting at the edge of her seat, like, Mommy, Titi, look at her, look what she looks like.
Oh,
That was it. Just when you, Erica, earlier when you said, it irritates you to hear people say, why does the Little Mermaid have to be Black? They don't get to see the gleam in a little Black girl's eyes, the gleam in a
Yes.
little brown boy's eyes when they see someone who looks like them on
Yes.
the screen. That is priceless. It is
Yes.
mhm.
priceless. And it's
It's
upsetting, it's irritating that in 2023 we're still having to justify that, right?
yes.
But
It's similar to Black Panther though.
mhm.
So I
How
was,
everyone has so much pride around seeing the
A
Black
black
Panther,
you know what,
superhero.
a
and
Black superhero.
okay, so just I more so that was my representation because
Yes.
I'm a Marvel fanatic,
Mhm.
and people
Are
were
you
very
saying?
upset about that.
And I'm a DC fanatic.
Anyway, moving on.
I like DC's villains. That's our big secret. So I gleaned to see, okay, even though I was, butt hurt about, Chadwick,
Mhm.
but like, okay, so now little Black girls get to see Black Panther as
As
a
a
super.
girl,
That's a
yeah.
super. That's we Black girls get a superhero.
Mhm.
Right.
So in true comic nature, of course, that's shunned upon. But no, I didn't have that. Growing
Right.
up, I didn't have that. Like growing up, I was Wonder Woman. Like
Yes.
that's who I had to look
Yes.
up to.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
when I grow up, I want to be Wonder Woman.
Mhm.
And technically, DC, Eartha Kitt was Catwoman, but
Catwoman,
technically
yeah.
was she was
She was Catwoman.
She's a villain.
she was not a superhero.
She wasn't a
Yeah,
Mhm.
superhero.
I didn't know that.
Mhm.
yeah,
She's
The
a
Catwoman,
burglar.
the
yeah.
Catwoman I know is
Has-
Halle Berry.
And was a burglar.
Yeah.
She was a criminal.
Mhm.
Okay, so she a villain.
And then
So wait. Quick question though,
Okay.
because
an
Anti-hero.
anti-hero.
You are absolutely
Thank you,
right.
Joe.
Anti-hero.
Thank you.
For the technicality.
Mhm.
I had a conversation about the Black Panther and how, he is our Black superhero. But the person who I was talking with was mad that we killed him off. Like, it's already one
They should
thing
have carried him on.
yeah, it's already one thing that he passed on in real life. But
We
to
love you,
bring
Chadwick.
yeah, we love Chadwick. But to kill him in the movie as
Because
well.
it's like,
Do you feel like that was
you're
needed?
replace someone else,
Yeah,
in
like
that
it's so many
respect.
Batmans and so many
Ooh.
Yeah, no,
Spider-Man.
that's true.
Like, it's
That's
so
true
many.
because
Point.
what
That's a good point.
He did?
and yes, and that's what I was going to say. And that
Oh,
that
wow,
is
so
the
it is a
actual
part
that
of
is
it.
actually what happened
So he was
in the
going
actual
to pass
comics.
in the
Yes.
movie eventually anyway.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, it's a whole thing.
happens
So,
sooner.
oh well, I guess and then I guess we got a little older. We had Storm and things of that. But
Of course.
so
Look.
but I
Me and
But
my superhero
I'm
hair.
ironically, I'll be completely honest. Storm wasn't the person I, as a little Black girl, gravitated towards. Like I didn't like the Black.
I never cared about Storm either.
So it's like,
But I was always big on Wolverine. Like I've always
Yeah,
been,
and
you
I'm
know,
Gambit.
here.
So like
I'm Batman, I'm
yeah,
Wolverine.
right?
Your
But
little boy.
I
There,
am secretly a little
and
boy.
it's like I like the boys,
But I was going to say something else about Hallie when Karma said when you saw her on the screen. For me, when she was spiraling up,
Yes.
and her face, I literally had tears in my eyes because, like me and Jessica were talking about earlier today before the podcast, we were there when they re-released The Mermaid from the vault and brought it out in the 90s.
yes.
Mhm.
And it was a big buzz, and it was a big thing about Ariel and her red hair, and she was
Mhm. And
so
it was so
pretty,
beautiful and vibrant,
and her voice was so beautiful.
Oh,
And so, but to see Hallie with locks,
Yes.
okay, and they did not cut her hair. They allowed her hair. They just made it red. She said, "We just got to make it red." But to see her locks in, like flowing in the water,
Mhm.
her skin looks so pretty. Her voice was so beautiful, and she sounds like Ariel, the real lady's voice, right? So it really connected in a different way for me.
Mhm.
You know, and I looked to my left and Imani was smiling or her mouth open, looking like a toddler. And I looked to my right and I saw a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 7-year-old, a soon to be 16-year-old, all girls, all smiling, looking at the screen. And I'm like, and Jameer was in between me and Imani snoring by this time. But to see all of us, like I literally had tears in my eyes.
But you know, it's my homegirl though. I had to support her anyway.
Yeah, we love Hallie and Chloe.
I
We do. We
know
do.
her in
We
real
really
life.
do.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you know, for
Yeah.
me, it was like wow. And so it's not to say that when in the 90s when we were little kids and we went to the theater that we felt some like ugliness about ourselves or imperfection about ourselves and seeing a fair skinned white character, because all of the characters were white, all of the princesses were white, everything around us was white, everything has always been white.
Right.
Thankfully my mom always bought me a black Cabbage Patch.
Right.
So I've always had a black Cabbage Patch. And I was telling Paula, I remember our family always gave us Kenya dolls. You remember Kenya?
I had Kenya dolls. Now, ironically,
Mhm.
don't think I'm weird, guys. I used to be a doll collector until I had children, and my mother was such a sap for her grandchildren that she allowed her grandchildren to play with my collectibles.
Oh no.
But my Barbies were always black Barbies. But I still to this day have my very first Cabbage Patch doll.
Hey, Black Barbie coming out.
Mine
Eastwoman.
too.
No, I still have my very first Cabbage Patch doll, and she's white.
Yeah, my Cabbage
I
Patch
took
was
our birth
always black.
certificate and everything.
Oh wow.
But
Mine was
Kenya
always black.
dolls.
But then we always got Kenya dolls, and Kenya was bold enough to have a kufi. She had a little Kuta Kente claw.
Yes, she did. And when Kenya hit the scene, do you remember the excitement?
Yep.
When like I got a Kenya for Christmas.
We got a Kenya for Christmas.
And I was like, oh my God, my baby doll got her little nappy, because that's what we called it.
Yeah.
That's what we called it. We said we had nappy hair. So my baby doll got nappy hair like me. I could do my baby hair like, my mama do my hair. Like I was very
But the
excited.
connotation back then around nappy was negative.
It was.
Right.
You know?
And it was.
When we were growing up,
Right.
our complexion wasn't something to celebrate. You know, you talk bad about darker people, you tease darker people, you know, but and you nappy headed. You gotta get your kitchen straightened and those type of
BDBs and all that foolishness. What I just texted you the other day about my
Carmen, she texted me. I shared a picture of me and her in the studio. The first thing she sent back is look at my BDBs. Like, girl, ain't nobody looking at
and y'all gotta know, I love all of this. I love all this. It was just a joke. I love it. So,
Well, you know what? The other thing that Little Mermaid and Storm and whoever it is, it's we take for granted if there's a default that the world is white, that all good things are white. That,
white is right.
White is
there's a normalcy to that. So anything that breaks that or anything that shows a different, and it's not even a different side, because I think sometimes we think it has to be either or. It's an and, right? There's diversity that exists. We show up in different hues, different hair types, and one doesn't make the other one bad. And so I think, one of the things that we all do is your children can play with whatever kind of doll. It's just that they shouldn't look down and think that the brown one is
not
it's
good.
better. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Exactly.
So representation matters even more. Like I said, when I started even doing this work, I didn't realize the importance of being able to say what we do is for Black people until this year. If I be completely honest.
Wow.
Yep.
Really?
I found that, and Paula was in the room with me when I really turned up about it. Like, no, what we do is specifically for Black people, and here's why. And because I speak their language. I hear what she's saying when she's not talking.
Yeah.
I hear what she's saying when she squirms in her chair a little bit differently. I know what it feels like to be in that chair and to not be understood, and for someone to make me feel like the way that I speak is not good or not right. And even, a lot of times he might say, I don't know if I said that right. I'm like, girl, you good. You said it fine. And you good. We understood what you're saying.
I understood. Look, I understood. Yeah.
And if you feel the need to grow in a certain area or aspect of your life to perfect a thing, that's something different. But to have you talk white projected on you. When no, I just don't. I speak proper English.
Do you remember like our year of the big epiphany moment where we were like, ain't no more code switching?
Oh no, ain't no more code switching. I came into that a long
my
time
God.
ago.
Y'all remember how y'all used to tease me
Mm.
at work? My work voice.
Oh yes.
Oh my God.
Because she'll cut it on and then come down here and cuss us out. And it's like,
Because I was working from home. Like I was working from home, and it was like an off-on switch.
with the headset on.
And
though.
then
She'll come
you-
downstairs.
with the
shut it
headset.
up. Then go back and
Look,
what
I'm
happened?
from
Then
the-
click.
Hi, thank you for calling employer. And I was actually still working for employer when I came to that conclusion. Like that ain't me.
I can't do it no
I don't
more.
talk like that.
I can't do it no more.
Y'all know
Like
what
I
I'm saying?
still can be me and be professional. You gotta understand that.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I am still a professional,
And so-
regardless.
That's what I'm
Karma,
coming to.
to piggyback on that, I got two things, right? So when the first time I said I was gonna run for city council,
Mhm.
because I came to the conclusion I was running for city council twice, right? The
Mhm.
first time that I decided I was running for city council, my hair was red.
I was gonna say, are you gonna tell your truth?
My hair was fire red. After my sexual assault, I cut all my hair off in the bathroom. After I spoke in the documentary, I came home, I cut all my hair off in the bathroom. And then I looked in the mirror and I was like, I think I need to put some color in my hair. This is when I first started wearing lashes also. I was like, I don't look right. Little short, little afro. I went to 24-hour CVS. I dyed my own hair fire red. And everybody thought I had lost my mind, right? Because I usually had a corporate job, working somewhere where you have to look a certain way, right? And there was no representation of a Black woman that felt comfortable enough to be expressive, right? And so I dyed my hair fire red, like fire red. And when I said I'm running for city council, everyone at this table and in my family, my mentors, everyone said,
mainly aunties.
it was all of y'all.
I
You
ain't
know,
said
you're gonna have to
nothing.
change your hair color. And
I
I
ain't
was,
said nothing.
I think aunties can, because you gotta think about how young we were.
and so I said,
We
why?
were still impressionable.
We had the women's leadership meeting with
Mhm.
Prosecutor Kim Worthy and a lot of other high name profile people were there. And I saw some seniors with purple hair. And I said, if they can get the respect and notoriety, why can't I? Because I don't have the title or whatever.
Like you gotta earn it. You gotta get. I think I
Yep.
can remember saying that. To you,
Yes.
like, you gotta get to where they
And
are
I
first,
argued
girl.
with people, Karma. I was like, no, I should be able to wear my hair however I want to because I'm capable of doing this job. I know what I'm talking about. And it's my hair color should not stop the perception of me being smart.
Right.
Or you know what I'm saying, or the
Take it
interpretation
seriously,
of what's
yeah.
coming out of my mouth.
Right.
And as I was traveling and growing as an advocate at that same time with red hair, when I came in the room, people ignored me and they didn't acknowledge me and they completely just shunned me. And then I was one of the speakers. Now everybody want my card. And I'm like, yeah, no. Because the way you treat me is how you treat the survivors that I am standing here speaking on behalf of.
Exactly.
You know, and so even with Ariana, her red hair, like her hair had to be red. I wish it was a little more redder.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
It's your natural hair red.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's not super bright.
Surprise, guys.
Yeah, Jessica's natural hair color is the same as Hallie in the movie. So what do you think about that, Carmen? Because that's the first thing. Because it's another thing that happened with me and you that gave me power to be me also.
You know what? I think, Erica, there are generational differences when we think about how you have to show up in order to get respect or gain respect. Especially in our community, there have been generational differences. We have fought for a long time to show up as ourselves. I mean, we just now have the Crown Act that says you can't discriminate against Black women, against Black folks for showing up with their natural hair in the workspace. But that's taken a long time. And so I tend to say there's two sides to that coin. One is that I don't look down on the next person who felt like this is what they had to do to survive. Because for Black folks, it's a survival It's
Yes,
a matter of
yes.
survival. Like I might have to change my hair. I might have to speak a certain way in order to take care of my family, in
Mm-hmm.
order to survive and
You
thrive. And so
snapping
that's
now.
one thing. But then there's others of us that have said, no, I'm going to push through. You're going to take me how I am. I am astute. I am learned. I am articulate. I am
Yes.
all the things with my braids, with my da 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 da. And so I'm going to live in this space. And what I found is, especially when I became an executive director at the coalition, when I was doing policy work and I had braids or I had whatever, it felt to me like I'm not changing. I'm going to wear my braids. I'm probably
Yes.
going to show up one day in a weave, one day in this, one day in that. I'm going to have a lipstick. I'm going to have that. I'm going to do all of the things. I'm
Mhm.
not going to ask for permission, but I'm also in a place where I have people that I could fall back on. Right.
Yes,
So I
yes.
think we also have to say to some of our sisters, they're doing this because I knew if I lose my job, I'm going to be okay. Some
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
people, they know if they lose their job, they're not, right?
Right.
And so we have to think about the complexity of what it means to be Black in this country. That right now, for us to show up as we are,
Yes.
right, we have fought to get to that place. It
Come
didn't just
on. Didn't
happen.
I just say
We
that?
actually fought to get in that place. People like Erica, you stand in a gap. You're the first to
Mm-hmm.
show up in the red hair and with your red
Yeah.
hair and speaking authentically, which makes space for Imani tomorrow to show up
That part.
with blue hair and speak in whatever way. But somebody has to be the trailblazer, right?
Yes.
Somebody has to be okay to risk
That
what
part.
it means you're
And
going
be
to risk
uncomfortable. Yep.
and be uncomfortable and make some other people uncomfortable.
And
That part.
I wanted to speak on this in relation to your generation. I applaud you all for this. So you know how I used to have big crazy hair. You all ever notice like I just hit a plateau where I just stopped having big.
It
I used
was
to.
big,
It
Karma.
used to
It
be
was big.
big, like big, like you had no other choice but to see me because my hair was big, and
And it
like I
looked
caught
heavy.
my, and it was, but I caught myself questioning you all for as my children,
Mhm.
how you all went on like job interviews, how you all went to work and things of that
Yeah.
nature. But it took Jamaica walking in to work last week when I dropped her off. I'm like, why are you going into work with your hair? Like, she's like, this is my hair. What you mean?
What you want me to do?
Wow.
Like, and then and I had to sit back and think like, well, what was the example I said? So I said that example, like, because I didn't care. I'm talking about Karma, the biggest, dramatic Shaka Khan hair. And I
Beautiful.
don't know what age I was just like, oh, I'm going to just do this. But I have to apologize to y'all because you all, you so totally different than I was. But unknowingly that I was doing that. And then I had to say I tried to judge y'all. Like, why y'all going to work with your hair like that? Like, I would have
Sit at
never
the front desk and all.
look
And say
I
good
would,
morning.
and had the
Yeah.
nerve to say out of my mouth, I would have never went. Girl, that's everything you was doing was going to work with your hair like that. This kid's been watching you. You've been doing that. You have literally been combating supervisors. Like, no, I'm not gonna change my hair. This my hair. I pay for it because it was
Literally.
not my
And that's
natural
what I
hair.
said too at the wife.
You gonna buy me some new hair?
No, bump that. You gonna send me home?
Because look, unknowingly,
But they
I
know,
was
but
saying
they
that
know who your
example.
mommy is. They know you got the advocate.
Oh, you sitting there just like this. I'll be sitting there just like this. What? Like, you got a hat on the thing.
And look, and send her home because I'll be right at the door. What you say?
Who going home?
Who going home? She ain't going home today.
Clock back in.
But and then the other thing, so we're talking about examples, right? And to have those examples in mainstream is one thing to be able to have those examples at home. I saw my mom wear her hair a certain way, very clean, polished, every day to go to work as a secretary. Her clothes were immaculate.
Oh my
she
gosh,
looked like
yes.
that quote unquote professional person and left out the door every day. And so when I started to work, you know, in corporate and all of those places,
Mhm.
I felt like I had to do the same
Yeah, we had to
thing,
emulate that.
Mhm.
but I was
It seems
uncomfortable
like it's so much.
Mhm.
Oh
because
my
I would
gosh.
see, and I'm just gonna be honest, I would see because I'm very young. That's what people they think I'm younger than what I am, but I am very young and I've had a lot of different opportunities. So
Mhm.
working
And
in
experiences. Yeah.
this professional building, and I'm being told that I can't even have a streak of brown in my hair,
Mhm.
but another girl who's my age and white has aqua teal hair
Mhm.
down her back, and I'm like, wait a
Mhm.
minute, how she get hired?
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't afraid to come to the interview. I have changed my hair. When I got a phone call to get an interview, I would change my hair and go all black,
Mhm.
just so
Oh, and
I
once
knew
you
I
get
would
that
get
higher
that
though,
job.
once
But
you
once
got
I
that
get
higher
hired,
though,
I try
baby,
to
it
get
was
a little
over.
streak,
It was over.
just a streak. I didn't do much more than a
You did,
streak.
you just it was very subtle.
That little brown
Yeah.
streak I would do, but now I wear my natural colors, you know.
Beautiful.
But another thing that came to me about examples, right, and the representation of
Mhm.
being bold and being comfortable within your skin and being authentic and true, and to be able to speak your truth. We were traveling, Karma,
Mhm.
and I didn't have the money to pay for the incidentals in my hotel room.
Mhm.
And I know you probably don't want me to share this, but
Mhm. Erica.
but I was ashamed to say it out loud, and I was going to put what I had there and forego having money to eat,
Mhm.
right? Personally,
Mhm.
and wait to be paid.
I
And I'm
remember that.
fighting tears,
I remember
Mhm.
that.
you know, and to be able to be vulnerable enough to say, you know what, I need help. But for you to walk up there bold and say, you know what, I'm covering sis.
Mhm.
I'm
I
doing this
remember
right here,
that.
right now.
Mhm.
And here's, you know, privately, and here's why. How dare someone make you feel bad or try to make you feel bad because you were being honest? Because there were other people who tried to make me feel bad for being honest. But
Mhm.
what that did was it let me know that it's okay to say, I need help.
Mhm.
It's okay to say, I'm in the beginning phases of my journey and
Mhm.
this won't last always.
Right.
Right. And so
Right.
now I'm more confident to
Right.
be able to stand up and say what I need, not
Mhm.
hoping for a handout or anything like that,
Mhm.
but to be able to say it up front. I don't understand. I need this. I need that. I don't like that.
Mhm.
Even in the pandemic,
Yes.
I couldn't drive in the pandemic after being hospitalized. We didn't have a way to go to the grocery store. And
Mhm.
someone said to me, oh, well, we got some gallons of beans.
Huh?
And I was like, Imani,
Mhm.
this, and I said, we don't eat beans.
Don't nobody eat.
Mhm.
You know, one is a pescatarian, one is this, and one
I
is
eat beans
that.
with my grandma.
And it's not to say that we couldn't afford our groceries. We didn't have a way to the
Right.
store,
Right. That's what it
Right.
was.
Right.
right? And then
Right.
Umi said, go online and order what y'all like, and we'll have it delivered. You know,
Mhm.
and I
Mhm.
didn't even know you could do that.
Mhm.
And so, you know, that empowered me to be able to stand in my truth and not have what people project onto you be
Yes.
what is right.
Yes.
It's okay to say, we don't eat beans.
Mhm.
We don't like that. It's okay to say, you know, and now I can do the karma. Yeah, put that on there. I'm emphasis. Look. But to be able to be authentic, and you know, Kim Worthy, she did the same thing when me and her was traveling.
Mhm.
She completely stopped and was like, I'm not putting my card on there. You
Mhm.
and now you know the Wayne County prosecutor got the money, right? And but that empowered me also. If I'm a guest, you're gonna treat me like a
As a
guest,
guest.
right?
Absolutely.
And so her representing in that moment as well has always been inside of me since then, also. And so representation matters. And y'all are Black women, y'all are in leadership, y'all have forged a path, right? And so for me to stand on the sideline and be like, yeah, I'm with them, you know,
Honored.
I can do that,
Honored.
right?
Yeah.
And I will get to another level, you know, because we go from glory to glory, right? That's what
Absolutely.
some of
Yeah.
us churchy folks say, right?
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
so the representation, you can be authentically you. And that's why with me and Jessica we're talking about, we came to this epiphany moment. We ain't code switching no more because I want her daughter Jamaica. I want my daughter Imani and Elise and her other daughter Taylor. I want them to see Auntie Erica is making a way, being herself.
Be
Mhm.
you.
It's
Mhm.
okay to be yourself.
Mhm.
Now, don't go out the house with no bonnet on, because I don't play that. That's something I'm holding on to.
I just started. She get mad at me because I go to the
You know
airport
what?
with the
But
bonnet.
see,
Don't do it.
I tried to
I
show
most
you
definitely
all
go to the
though.
airport with my bonnet. I don't
No, but I tried to show you all. It's a cute way to do it because it was one or two of
It's a cute
y'all.
way to do it. Don't
It
do
was
it.
one or two of y'all that was we wearing our bonnet.
To
Okay,
the
so we're
store.
gonna wear our bonnets. We're gonna learn how to do a cute rap situation with it.
Nah,
One or two of y'all like
Auntie
to try
Erica
to
said
sit.
no.
I pulled the most numbers in a rap, baby. My husband pulled him in a rap. So
And that hasn't been my goal. So that's probably why I need to stay out the
see,
rap.
because but you know what? But that was during my transition where you got to think about it. I went through that whole transition. I stopped wearing quick weaves
Okay.
because you always been the one with hair.
I do it.
I gotta, I'm living my truth. I just got some hair, but I when I went through that process, I was like, okay, I gotta come out these perms and all this other stuff. When I was trying to woo side. Y'all can't wear no bonnets though.
Don't do that. Don't look like you ain't
Hey,
washed
I'm not
up
gonna
this
lie.
morning.
It do. My mama told me that. My grandma always told me that. It looked like you ain't wash your butt.
When you have a
But-
bonnet on.
Yeah, with a bonnet. But I'm not gonna lie, y'all. To the airport, I don't care. I look them
Yeah,
people in the
you
face.
should care.
I
'Cause
don't. I put me in the at the airport.
one
with
of your
my
little
bonnet on.
sister
What you talking
cousins,
about?
one of your little sister cousins. I watched
comfortable.
one of them little sister cousins literally. You a babe, you brush your teeth, you wash your face.
And throw
You
that
be
bonnet
cute
on.
and throw a bonnet on. Why would you do
I
that?
ain't like-
Don't
no,
do
okay,
that.
so no.
Don't
I
do
am
that.
anti-bonnet and Crocs. Burn them all.
All
All
the
the
grew on me.
Crocs
Forget
Carmen,
what you
and
if
the
I
talking
get to play
about.
with you, I'm having my bonnet on and my Crocs. I don't care.
Nah, the Crocs grew on me. As
With you,
As I
look, with
turned
you.
into a grandmother and my feet got a little wider, the Crocs grew on me. Granny got to move around behind them grandkids.
My granny always had them little what was them dollar
Them
stores?
slippers with the sequins on them and the flowers. So the Crocs are our era grandmother
It's them.
beauty supply slippers. Don't you judge us.
Don't you judge them Crocs.
Don't you judge us.
Don't even.
Not the sequin slide in.
Yeah.
But I also
That's them Crocs.
What'd you say, Carmen?
I was gonna say, I also think there's this thing about the bonnet or the whatever that's a protective factor too. Like for you, Erica, seeing your baby in a bonnet is like sometimes we
Trauma.
do
My
things.
trauma speaking.
It's right. It's like what I've been through. Now, girl, you better show
walk
up
around in a bonnet.
because I've been through this. And it's also let me protect you from how people are going to perceive you
Yes.
when you show up in this space. That's you're saying there's something about that. And I think sometimes people take it and they're like, oh, well, you're just saying it because you don't like how it looks or you want me to present in this way. And it's like, no, this might not be safe for you in this moment. You're about to
Yes.
go in this
You
space.
about to go somewhere.
You're about to go somewhere, and somebody's going to perceive you to be something other than what you are.
That
So,
part.
So
And can you handle it? Because
Can
y'all
you
know
handle
y'all
it?
know which baby I'm talking about with that bonnet on. And that baby,
that baby don't care though.
that baby don't care.
That baby said, "Say something about my bonnet."
So I dare you say something about this bonnet.
Say something about
But-
my bonnet.
I am me, because we ain't saying your name, baby. I am me, hear me roar, and I love that about her though.
So
Because representation does matter. Just because I got this bonnet on my head.
And she didn't
that
see
don't-
Auntie Erica wearing her red. Because
She
you know
didn't see-
she'll throw some red in a heartbeat, and I love it.
My auntie, when I first said something, well, my auntie, enough said. You going to
So-
move over there on their street that they live on. But I had to, representation does matter because if that's something that I like
Mm-hmm.
and that resonates with my spirit, that's what I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And baby, been red ever since.
So
Can you put a different color in your hair just one time? other
No,
than
she
your
gonna have to get her
natural
superhero streak.
color? 'Cause she was born with that.
Go ahead, man.
going back into representation matters. I had a conversation with a coworker, and we were talking about like movies and stuff.
Okay.
So that went into all these famous Black movies and how we are presented. Do y'all feel like that plays a factor in us wearing the bonnet outside?
No.
We are
Oh.
in movies. We are oftentimes presented. What's glorified as slavery. What's glorified is violence against women.
So do you feel like
You
slavery
seem-
is glorified though? I don't feel like that. Like the argument was why
It's
there's so
almost like
many.
a
You know,
trauma
they-
porn.
you
type
know,
of
okay,
thing.
they
so,
don't-
no, I feel that.
Their
like,
generation they weren't subjected to this was slavery like our generation.
Yeah,
was.
or history.
Like they could.
we get I'm not gonna lie, we
speak
do
if
get
I'm-
tired of it. We be like,
yeah,
okay, it's
and that's
so
how they
many
feel. They're
movies,
like,
oh my
ugh,
God,
I'm over all
I'm
these
tired of seeing
slavery
that because
movies.
I'ma
Like,
smack my white coworker. Like I just
right, and
like,
that's how they
I'll be
are. Like
upset
they're
about it.
so short fused. They're like,
But I think also when we talk about representation matters and the connection to the slavery and the history, right? Like,
I feel like you do need to see it, I guess.
I don't know so much
But
if it has to
like,
be
you-
gory
yeah,
or
and you don't
anything
have
of
to,
that
like-
no,
nature.
not like gory, but
I'm fine with you all. Like I'm learning. I guess they're trying to take that out of the curriculum.
Yes.
So I'm
CRT.
fine with you all, learning about it. Everybody, aren't ocular people. You might not want to see it because that may very well traumatize you. But it's like, okay, I feel like you all do still need to know that part of your history. At least be
do.
aware of it.
And I like that they came with the Woman King.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
Woman King was phenomenal. I saw it
Oh,
3
my-
times.
I was going to say, baby, I think I'd have seen it 5
Yep,
times.
I saw it 3 times in the theater. My dad took me, I took the girls, and then I went by myself. Because the way that they told that story of balance and
Mhm.
respect for a position, right?
Mhm.
And then they told the truth
I was
of
gonna
our
say, yeah,
black
you,
history.
yeah, I was gonna say,
of
you have to know
So-
it hasn't always been that.
And
Yeah.
that's what I was trying to argue. What I hate about like not even debates, but like when it's being shoved down my throat. Yeah, you're gonna hear me, and this is what it is. So now I'm in a corner. I can't even get my thoughts
Yeah,
together.
you can.
But it's like
Caught.
I, I feel like the Woman King was good too, but his argument was it's so much about black woman empowerment and less.
You were talking.
You-
What?
I was
You were
talking to a black man. I was talking
No,
to a
I
black
know
man.
you were talking to a black
So
man.
his
Oh,
thing
I
was-
know. It ain't a doubt in my mind.
Yeah, so his thing was
Interesting.
I love,
I-
portraying the black woman as a lawyer, portraying the black woman as this, but then when I look, it's always a gay black man, or it's always a man.
That's what he said.
Yeah, that's what he said. Or it's always a man beating on a woman. There's no stories like that. And he going into all these things.
But gay
about
black
the
men,
representation.
but
He feel
gay
like
black
it's-
men
it's
need to be
meant-
represented also.
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
they haven't been represented either.
Mhm.
And they in my opinion, they should be represented in healthy relationships as well.
Mhm.
Because there are healthy LGBTQ plus relationships
Yes, they are.
in the black community, and it's valid to see it, and it's not a brainwashing. You can't
Because-
watch something and become the thing you watch.
Yeah,
Like,
why I
that's
can't
silly.
touch it
Right.
and catch it.
Matters.
You can't-
So, was whomever it was you were talking to, were they trying to make the point of how we are always projected as the loud? Give me a ghetto.
Angry black.
Yeah,
On
Sinead
Friday.
Yeah, her
Yeah.
homegirl.
Craig.
Craig,
Yeah,
was
the
she-
girlfriend.
Yeah,
The
the girlfriend. So, do you feel like I'm going to ask you? Do you feel like you've seen more of that growing up,
But that's okay. I
Mhm.
bet you he don't mind seeing those images.
and he don't?
He said that he do. That's the part that was the part.
Oh,
of the
that's what
conversation where it's
upset
like, you
him,
sound
is
dumb.
that-
like because he kept
Hmm.
contradicting himself in the mid conversation because you say that you don't like it, but then you say, "Oh yeah, it's entertaining."
That was
like,
your favorite movie.
Yeah, like I'm confused at that point.
But so where's the empowerment though? When to me, I feel like it has to be an equal balance.
Mhm.
You know
That's-
what I mean?
I've also figured out maybe what could have potentially been our first black princess,
Who was our first black princess?
Brandy.
Brandy.
Brandy was our first black
Brandy
princess.
was our
and
first
Cinderella.
because they redid Cinderella. Brandy was our first black, but we were in high school.
Oh, we
We were
were
14.
So
Hmm.
then another thing though, the argument was how other races are perceived in movies.
How they perceive?
How are they perceived?
He claims that there isn't no ghetto movie of like Jewish people. They're always
Bull crap. He ain't a.
He
He's
ain't an
not
Adam
a
Sandler fan.
Yeah.
he said
Representation matters in Adam is Bay because you ain't watch TV. He ain't no TV watcher.
you know
And
what
what's
he
the
said?
other one?
Oh.
With Schmucks or what's his name with the dark hair?
Ben Stiller.
You been still? Come
Ben
on.
Stiller. Yeah,
They
so,
always hood.
There,
you know, he just claimed you always see these other
Jonah,
races
Jonah for sure.
as you know, they look
Peaches,
better.
Jack Black, like all of these
Like
guys, like
Korean,
they're
he feel like they are always perceived as
no,
better. So how
that's
do y'all
his
feel about that?
perception.
And that's what I said too.
He
He need to go to therapy.
Yeah, he does. He needs to. Yeah, like he needs a self.
But no, I'm just-
He needs
I'm
to
just
love himself
bringing
more.
it in to just see like what are y'all thoughts and do y'all feel like that plays a factor in the representation of like because all the young kids we watch. I'm trying to think of what's a ghetto thing.
Carmen, you respond to that.
I
Power
don't.
or like
I don't though. Oh well, you said kids, so yeah. And you all
The
watch all those
Snowfall.
reality shows, like
I'm gonna say the
yeah,
baddies. They fighting, they screaming, all that.
yeah, like.
And that is like TV personalities because when you see them on live, you see them in interviews.
But I think y'all got the mamas, them single mamas. I told them, you play with us if y'all want to. That ain't who, no diss to anything they've been through because we don't know their struggles or their lives.
Yeah.
But because we grew up on what? Claire Huxtable's.
The unrealistic.
The unrealistic.
Go ahead, Karma. What was your thought?
Who else we grew up
You
with?
know what? I just think there's that representation doesn't just mean black or brown. It means the diversity and the range of experiences within us. So sometimes you might have the one who, you perceive to be ghetto or whatever it is, hood, all the things. And some of us live in that world. Sometimes you may have the Claire Huxtable, and some of us live in that world. And there is a whole range, there's
that part.
some of us that have more money than the Claire Huxtables, and there's a whole bunch of us in between. And I think what you all talked about before is we've lived a long time where we haven't controlled our own images.
That part.
So the only images that we saw were what other people perceived of us or what other people wanted people to perceive.
And that's what I told him. I said, if you want to do something, get on your Issa stuff. Issa said in the interview, I didn't like what I saw. This is my lifestyle, and I made my show. It's based on real black women, like literally, like. And so I'm like, if you do something, change it. You don't like it, change
and
it.
I mean, if
Literally.
you thought that was ghetto.
Oh, me.
Well, let me say something about the ghetto, right? I got to.
Like what?
When I hear people try to project, quote unquote, oh, that's ghetto, oh, she ghetto, oh, blah, 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 it's always in a negative light.
Exactly.
And it's not ghetto to be ghetto. Like,
yep.
My thing is, can we normalize what that word actually means? Okay.
And
that is not a negative connotation to say, oh girl, that's ghetto. Like I've had to tell so many quote unquote professionals that have referenced what they used to be as far as ghetto, right? Or I don't want to be the ghetto black girl with the big butt. Like I've heard these statements said to me, and I said, but you are. And it's okay to be that.
I love it.
And then the other sis who said what they used to be, no, sis, you ain't realized you still ghetto,
or that is still a part of your story.
It's still you. I don't care what makeup you put on today or what outfit you put on today. You have not changed.
Or what code switching.
The way you cook, your code switching. You still cooking your food with those same rituals. You understand what I'm saying? You still run your bath water with the same rituals.
Raising your kids.
You still raising your children the same way that you did before you got said title or accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? Or opportunity. You're still that person. And so stop making the word ghetto something negative or directly related to black people in a negative light, because it's not real.
I am who I am. You like it, you love it.
Lil Wayne said, I'm me. I'm me.
That is my morning mantra.
Okay, affirmations are real. So, but it's a lot of different things. One of the things that I had looked up, I was very curious. What's the moral of the story, the actual story? When it was pertaining to the Little Mermaid. And so it says, the moral of the story is there's no dream too big or too small. The lesson here is that if we were to give up during challenges, we would never reach our dreams. But if you try your best, you can succeed. And that moral of the story for me completely connects with Hallie. When they show her and her grandfather who lived on a cotton field, and the generations, this says there's no dream too big or too small. And for her to be the black representative of the Little Mermaid, right? Our first Disney black princess, because Tiana was a frog throughout the whole movie. We saw Hallie's face and heard her voice throughout the whole movie. And she was beautiful, and elegant and a princess. throughout the whole movie. And so there is no dream too big or too small. And some of the things that we reference today, and even having you hear Karma, embodies that moral of that story. Because I remember when you jumped off the porch, right?
Mhm.
And said, I'm going to start this thing up. And then
Oh.
even the funding, right? That gives us this opportunity right now to have this podcast. You jumped off the porch. There is no dream too big, right? And so representation does matter. And so for you to be able to come on here with us, it all makes it make sense and have this conversation our way, right?
Mhm.
This isn't the typical podcast. This
Mhm.
isn't, when we talk about what we do in our community, it usually is formatted differently. And so to have the ability to do it is also confirming the moral of the story in The Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
And so we gotta try to get our last little key point. So Carmen, I'm gonna let you go first. What's your SMH moment? Our SMH moment is something that has happened in the last week that has made you smile, cry, make you shake your head, laugh. We don't want to know all the dirty secrets unless you don't tell us. But what is your SMH moment in this last week?
I have a couple. One, yesterday I walked into my mother's house with my mother, my father, my niece ran up to me, and my sister was sitting next to me. And I had just looked down at a message that had something from my nephew and my other sister, and it occurred to me how just how dynamic my family ties are. And like the story of the Little Mermaid, like she had this dream, was able to make it possible, but also had this incredible familial bond. And I think, that has been something that is an estimate. They are always my moment, because just seeing them being able to be grounded in the things that all of them have done to ensure that I'm able to do what I do, it just it just brings tears to my eyes. So that's one. And then two is today, and listening to you all, the dialogue and the sisterhood. Even though Imani is, your daughter, she's still part of this sisterhood that you
We're
all
all
have
friends.
created. And I feel like I get to live that at Ujima.
Yeah.
Every day I'm a part of a sisterhood. I don't do what I do without Greta, without Jennifer, without Umi, without Condencia, without Chris. There's Kaylin. There's a sisterhood that we've created within Ujima. And so having these dialogues in the way that we have them, without judgment, with folks who can call you on your stuff,
Yes.
Love
you,
those sisters.
call you
Yes.
on your thing. But that sisterhood is so important, because representation, we all look different, we all talk different, we come from different places, but we have a similar goal.
Yes.
We are similarly situated to make change and ensure that our community has the best, absolute best, of what we deserve, right? And we're not willing to compromise on that. So we say, we're going to be Black all day. We show up unapologetically Black. That's who we are. And so that's my moment.
I love it because that's my thing. Unapologetically everything, all things Black, unapologetic. And Jessica, you have an SMH moment this week?
I do. It's a little moment. So it actually was from today. So I'm sitting on the porch with grandson, and I'm just looking at grandson, and y'all know how adorably cute grandson is.
Just the chocolate grandson.
It's the chocolate grandson. We ain't talking about best friend.
Okay.
Like your best friend, mama be watching. So
Okay.
I'm about to say something. I don't want you and best friend to feel no type of way. But I really enjoying this time with him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because we all know who he looked like, right? He looked like
Your
like
mama.
No.
He do.
He looked like his father's
I was about to say, he looked like
doppelganger.
Oh.
He looked just
And
like Dorian.
I think he
chocolate.
looked
It's
like
about to be
the
a
grandma,
moment
the
because
great-grandma.
I am enjoying this moment because when his father was this age, I was deployed.
Oh,
And I'm like, okay, I'm enjoying this moment because it's like I get to have this moment back with his father because I didn't have that because I was deployed. I didn't get to see Dorian at this age. And that's my SMH moment. Like, Dorian, thank you for allowing me for blessing me, with you again. Because oh my God, it's this identical twin.
That was a good way to put it. With you again.
Yeah, with you again.
the chocolate.
He ain't no
one. And he
crybaby like his daddy
sings.
was. I hope you ain't watching because you might get a little offended. But I'm loving this. I'm loving this.
Good. I'm happy for you and the grandkids. Money, don't do it to me.
Don't.
Money, do you have an SMH moment?
You live vicariously through me.
I'm not gonna lie. We already agreed. If I do, we kicking me down the steps. Now,
riding in cars with boys. Don't be riding in cars with Drew Barrymore.
She kept trying to like.
No, it didn't work. You know it didn't work though. Let's get it.
That's a classic though.
I actually am blessed. I have 3 kids.
Girl, shut up.
Girl, gonna tell your SMH moment. That was the SMH moment, clearly.
No, but my SMH moment is that my twins,
The grandboos, my
nephews,
grandboos. Yes.
I don't have any kids, but my nephews, they are 1 now, and they are getting to that age where they are bad.
They are not BAD.
Yes, they are. They look at each
Don't
other.
you tell them they BAD.
My
Let me tell you
nephew
something. They look at each other and
says
they
DDDDD because I've been saying you are so BAD. And now he calls me DDDDD. So
And
you
they
just
look
start
at
calling
each
them DDDDD.
That's what I'm gonna call. I'm gonna call them Double D.
There you go. You don't tell them babies
They
are
look at
bad
each
though.
other like, should we do it? And then they do it.
Oh, that's so
And
funny.
that just made me shake my head like y'all are bad. Like, and they be
Shout out,
laughing.
shout
You
out
gotta
to Dylan
spell
and
it out.
Dayton. Shout out to Dylan.
Dylan and Dayton,
Love
with our
Dylan and
cute
Dayton.
little selves. Don't you
Man.
tell them babies they bad, don't
And
know.
they
She
be
put that on
laughing,
them.
though, like it's funny.
The mind here.
It do be funny.
It don't.
Yes, it do. You know it does.
Money, how do you fill your cup after a long week? What's your self-care moment?
My self care is sitting at home. I light a candle and I watch cartoons. So I cut on my Bob's Burgers.
Okay, Pops Burgers.
That's how I fill up my cup.
Just
I have not been filling my cup since we last met.
you need some agua.
Oh,
No, because I just got a mouth guard from the dentist.
Oh yeah.
And I ain't been able to sleep, so we're gonna pass me up. How about you, E?
So you've been turning down your plate. You've been fasting.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I have been doing my hard stops, like I said in the last podcast, my hard stops. But like today, I woke up at the butt crack of dawn and I told my thoughts, get thee behind me, Satan. I ain't doing nothing today.
Okay.
And I did nothing today. And I had things very important. Karma, don't be mad at me or the Ujima team. I did nothing today. Y'all ain't gonna get no emails with attachments today.
Real quick, y'all know what else I do to fill my cup?
What?
Walk around stores and I fill up my cart with stuff I know I'm not gonna buy.
So you like to make other people's days hard because they got to put that stuff back.
But it fills up my.
Imani, that's me too. I have to put it all at the register when I get to the front. I'm not gonna do this or this or this. But
Literally, when I take my time down each aisle, like this is so nice. This will look so nice in my room. Not gonna buy it, but I'm gonna put it in my cart because I am gonna get it one day.
Girl,
Just
bye.
not today. Just
Karma,
not today.
Karma, how you fill your cup after a long week? What's your self-care?
you know what? I'm about to have a nice glass of wine. And
Amen. Amen.
That's why I could never understand those shelter rules where they said people couldn't have glass. Like, oh my gosh, you couldn't. I'm about to have a nice glass of wine and watch a movie. But Erica,
Are you
before you go, with this really quick thing, I was literally before getting on this, I was on a call with our finance team, and we were talking about grantees and everything, and Auntie Jennifer got this expression, and
You know I love Auntie Jennifer.
she said, that Erica, I'll tell you one thing, she has made me grow. And so what I love to you all, and if you all haven't seen Erica in this space, it's the advocacy for self, right? And that is so important because some people think we're strong and we're being difficult and we're being all these things.
Yeah.
And what I say is you have to stand in this moment and stand in this space. And sometimes you have to, you have to advocate for self. So even when we hit those bumpy roads, and that's what I like about the sisterhood, not just within Ujima, but with all of us, is that, we know we're going to hit some spaces, but we have a goal. And I can't reiterate this goal enough, because I know the work of Supreme Transition
Thank
and the
you.
work that the three of you all are doing there to empower Black women, bring forth voices of Black women and girls in Detroit. And I'm not sure that other folks get to see you in this vein, but I get to see you in this vein where you're relentless,
Yeah.
on the behalf of your
Love it.
community. And they need to know that you're representing Detroit everywhere you go. Um, and so I hope that you get your flowers. All three of you, that you get your flowers, because you're making a difference for so many people.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I keep saying this first year. Oh Lord, I'm praying that October 1, start of year 2, I have fully blossomed into something else. I'm shed some dead weight, a lot of weight, and and you just grown. But to hear Auntie Jennifer's compliment, thank you so much, and thank you, Karma, for your kindness and kind words. And I know it's the truth, because I know you don't got time to be playing, but it has been a journey. This has been a journey, and I don't take it lightly. And I am a Leo, born as a Leo. And so that's a part of it, right? But then being underserved myself as a victim and a survivor, it's like, oh no, they opened the gate. Let's go. And if you can't go, then I don't want you to go. Everybody got to go. And so we spinning, plates on multiple sticks at the same time, but it's because I see the bigger piece of it all. And I want to make you proud. I want to make Auntie Jennifer proud. I want to make your Greta. I love Greta to death. Hey girl, hey. I want to make y'all proud. I want to absolutely make Umi proud, and Antonia, and so many others that have sold into me. Kaylin, I can never not give Kaylin her flowers and the love.
Love you, Kaylin.
But it's serious. And as I've said in several other meetings in the past couple weeks, it's so serious because people are dying here in Detroit. This isn't like the TV shows. This isn't like just a news clipping. Like, we live here, and there is no resources in Detroit. And when I travel and go out of state and I tell people what we do, and they say, oh, we never heard of nothing like that. We don't have that here. It's like, so how are you helping?
Right.
And people are dying, and the severity of it all, I don't take it lightly. I'm not saying that I carry it with me when I go to bed and when I wake up, and it's a burden, but it is a reality. And if I have the opportunity to do something different, I'm thankful for the opportunity to do it, and I'm going to do it. And we're going to exceed expectations and rise above all, adversity. So it's not a game. It's not a game for me. So that's why. But and I feel blessed and honored to live my passion. And I believe this is my purpose. I believe that everything that has happened for a reason. And now, because of trailblazers like you, and like we said, Umi, and so many others, I feel like I can do the thing without being afraid to be me, to be the person I'm representing, to carry those voices and those stories. But we'll talk all day and all night. One final word from everyone as we wrap this thing up. And we never said shout out to Engineer Joe. Hey, Joe. Hey. We love you, Joe. Thank you so much. We're going to get out your hair. Yeah, Joe, like, wrap it up. But just one final word on representation matters on FUBU.
You go, Monty.
I don't know.
All right.
What? Okay. Because I didn't. I wasn't prepared for that.
I wasn't
question,
either.
But it's
That's
okay.
Okay.
It's okay. I'm going to say, always be proud to be you.
That's good.
In whatever space you step in, always be proud to be you, because representation does matter, because you never know who it is that you're inspiring. So always show up and show out.
Amen.
That's a good one. I piggyback off that.
Say it. Say
Oh,
for
okay.
yourself. Learn. Speak for yourself, Money. What's your last?
She said
thought?
piggybacked.
No,
Let's
I
go.
piggybacked off of that just to
Okay.
always be you, because it's taken me a while to just accept me in all of my phases of the moon,
And there
Okay.
you go.
of
Okay.
myself,
There you-
of
Oh, that is my child. Okay, go.
myself.
Karma, you have final words on representation matters in FUBU?
Sure. Okay, I'm gonna stick my word is critical.
Mm.
That our representation for us, it doesn't just matter, it's critical. It's critical, it's life-saving, it's life-changing. And you all are examples of that.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's so real. My final word for this thing here is let's go higher.
Mm.
This is just the beginning. I'm very happy to be in this very unique time and this very unique moment where we can be authentic to who we are and be respected,
Mhm.
in this time. And something that you said earlier, Karma, I had already mentioned to Jessica. My final word is let's not disregard what our ancestors have done,
Mhm.
the sacrifice that they have made. And we don't got to go all the way back to Harriet.
I was gonna say, let's specify. We're not
We talking about like
going back to
modern
Sojourner
day,
and them,
you know.
you know.
And I love Sojourner Truth.
Yeah.
I give away awards in her name, right?
Yeah.
But we talking about those who stood in those picket lines, that sat down at those counters, the names that we do not
Angela's,
know,
yeah,
right?
You know,
And Angela's,
Yeah,
right?
those
And
ones, yeah.
Asada's, and
Yeah.
so many others. But representation matters. It's okay. Oh, I'm so mad. It's time to go because we could have talked about Dear Mama and representation
two.
from Tupac's mom, right?
Part two.
She was unapologetic
She
in
was.
standing up for herself and what she believed in and what she was imparting into her children, right? And her own ailments. I'm gonna be real about what I'm
'Cause
going
she was,
through.
oh yeah.
So yeah, but that's my final word. Let's not take for granted what our ancestors have done to give us this moment. It is our time, and it is important for us to be seen on the screens and in the politics and in the front lines. It's okay. It's
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you, Karma.
Thank you,
Thank you,
infinite thank yous,
Thank
Karma. Thank you,
So everyone, that's what we be saying. Hey, Karma.
trailblazer.
Look.
Thank you, thank you.
We appreciate you, and we will see you soon.
All right. Thank you. Sending you all love.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye.
You kick Karma out the room. We